Good day, students. Our lesson for today is Homeostasis and Feedback Mechanism, and I am Ms. Raquel B. Chavez from Dasmariñas North National High School, your teacher. Before we talk about homeostasis and feedback mechanism, let us discuss first the two systems in our body which coordinate in order to perform this mechanism. First is nervous system. Nervous system is a complex network of nerves and neurons that carry messages to and from the brain and the spinal cord and to the various parts of our body. The brain, being the major organ of the nervous system, is similar to the software of a computer. It is responsible for making decisions, memory, and the control of the body's internal environment. The nerves, on the other hand, are like the hardware or wiring that communicates those decisions with the rest of our body parts. Hypothalamus is the part of our brain that connects our nervous system to our endocrine system. Its main job is to tell our pituitary gland to start or to stop making hormones. Pituitary gland is the master gland of our endocrine system. It uses information it gets from our brain to tell other glands in our body what to do. The endocrine system, along with the nervous system, functions in regulation of our body's activities. The nervous system acts through electrical impulses and neurotransmitters to cause muscle contraction and glandular secretion. The endocrine system, on the other hand, acts through chemical messengers called hormones that influence growth, development, and metabolic activities. Homeostasis is a condition in which a system, such as our body, is maintained in a more or less steady state or a balanced condition. For you to be able to understand homeostasis, let's study an example. Have you ever wondered why we shiver when it is cold and we sweat when it is hot? Do you believe that it is our body's mechanism in order to maintain a balanced temperature? This is also known as homeostasis. Thermoregulation is the mechanism of our body to maintain its internal temperature. The internal body temperature is approximately 36 to 38 degrees Celsius. If the temperature falls below normal, thermoregulation center in our brain is activated. This will cause skeletal muscles rapidly contract, causing shivering, which generates heat. It also causes blood vessels in our skin to constrict, minimizing heat loss. And because of this, normal temperature is achieved. Now, what happens when our temperature rises above normal? Again, thermoregulation center in our brain is activated. This will cause sweat glands to secrete sweat that evaporates and therefore cooling our body. Also, blood vessels in our skin dilates and the heat escapes. This will cause our temperature to be back to the set point. Another example of which our body maintains its balance is the blood glucose level. As per its homeostatic condition, our blood should have 90 milligrams of glucose per 100 ml of blood. When our blood glucose level rises after we eat, this will signal the brain to stimulate our pancreas to secrete insulin. And now insulin will cause our liver to take up more glucose and store it as glycogen. This will also cause our body cells to take up more glucose and to be stored as fat in the adipose tissue. This will therefore return our blood glucose level to a normal point. Now, if our blood glucose level drops below the normal when we skip meals, then this will signal our brain to stimulate the pancreas to secrete glucagon. Glucagon will cause our liver to break down glycogen into glucose and also our adipose cells to break down fat. This will return our blood glucose level to a set point. As to the blood calcium level regulation, 10 milligrams of calcium is needed per 100 ml of blood. When blood calcium level rises, the thyroid gland, which is found in our neck, will release a hormone called calcitonin. Calcitonin will cause the excess calcium to be deposited in our bones. In turn, blood calcium level is back to the normal point. But when the blood calcium level falls, this will stimulate the parathyroid glands, found at the back of the thyroid gland, to release parathyroid hormone. This will release calcium from our bones, and blood calcium level is back to the set point. Homeostasis is maintained by the negative feedback loops. The examples of these loops are what we have discussed a while ago. Negative feedback mechanism tells our body to stop what it is doing and return to the set point when conditions go outside the acceptable range. Keeping a stable internal environment requires continuous monitoring of the internal environment and constantly making adjustments to keep things in balance. I hope you learned something today. Goodbye, class.